Center. We welcome you to the Media Center. As you know, the Media Center is a platform for people to express their views. We are neutral. We welcome everyone who may want to address press conferences. So today we have Comrade Kandishaya and his team. I think he is, today he came with a big team. The last time he would come alone. So I think he has been growing. So we welcome him to the Media Center, and the platform is now used to address this thing.
So, thank you so much, my brother, for the venue. Good morning, members of the Fourth Estate. I hope you are fine, and I'm very sorry for the delay. But I think vanhu vese vanoita mapresa yedu delay yanga iri diki, saka muchatiregerera. Nhasi tauya kuzotaura nemi as Zimbabwe Citizens Forum. You all know me from way back. I think I must be a shareholder for Zimbabwe Media Center because takaipa life for a very long time. But today I am flanked with a team of these comrades. I will give them an opportunity to run my introductions, starting from my brother on the far left. Just your name, where you are coming from.
I'm Mr. Masiwa. In the political corridor, they call me Chief. I'm the current SRC President, Chino University of Technology, under the banner of support.
Thank you.
I'm Bishop Kevin Nyamakanga. I'm the leader of Gatekeepers Prayer Movement in the Zimbabwe Intercessors Movement as well.
I am Hopmohad Vandika. I'm the National Chairman of Village Aids for Culture, Education and Community Development.
My name is Juliet Soeche. I'm the Executive Director of Women Empowerment Forum for Lone Mothers, which leads single mothers nationally. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Ashley Mashanti. I'm from Chino University of Technology. Currently serving as the SRC Minister for Gender, Health and Social Welfare under the banner of STICOS.
Oh, thank you so much. So I think you can see that this is the most balanced team. So statement, the students are all represented, the church is represented, women are represented, traditional leaders are also represented. Our press conference focuses on the Constitution of Zimbabwe, Amendment number 3 of 2026. What this bill brings to you and the gains of your life in the bill. Today, I'm here to talk about what Zimbabwe benefits from the Constitution of Zimbabwe Amendment Bill number 3. Not what it changes, not how it works, but what it delivers. Because at the end of the day, no citizen wakes up caring about constitutional clauses. You wake up caring about whether your life works or not. We are the fastest growing economy in the region. We are attracting investment. We are building roads, schools, and clinics. We are empowering women, youth, and students. We are industrializing rural areas. There is no country in the world that does not amend its constitution. Constitutional amendment is not a sign of instability. It is a sign of maturity. It is how nations ensure their founding documents remain relevant as the world continues to evolve. France has amended its constitution 24 times since 1958. As recently as 2024, they amended Article 25 to reform how their parliament operates. South Africa has amended its constitution 18 times since 1996. In 2013, they passed the 18th Amendment to strengthen the role of traditional leaders. Kenya amended its constitution in 2023 to restructure its cabinet. Rwanda amended its constitution in 2015. Uganda amended theirs in 2017. Tanzania is actively considering major amendments. Even the United States, whose constitution is deliberately difficult to amend, has done so 27 times. The most recent amendment was ratified in 1992, more than 2 centuries after the Constitution was written. And I must tell you that there are ongoing discussions in the United States of America where they are working towards bringing up a bill to remove term limits, obviously, after seeing the rapid development in the People's Republic of China, and after discovering that over time they are deep in over $20 trillion debt due to this abrupt change of leadership. And right now, at this very moment, multiple nations are engaged in the same process. Nigeria is in the process of amending its constitution to create state police, with its Senate committed to delivering the amendment by the end of 2026. Malaysia is currently refining its constitution, Bill 2026, to separate the roles of Attorney General and Public Prosecutor. Thailand is proceeding with a constitutional rewrite. Ghana is conducting a comprehensive constitutional review. Tanzania has been directed by the African Court on Human and People's Rights on March 6, 2026, to amend Article 4.1 of 7 of its constitution within 1 year. Constitutional amendments are underway across Africa and around the world, in mature democracies and developing nations as ours. So when we hear voices suggesting that Zimbabwe should not amend its constitution, we must ask, on what basis are France, South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Malaysia, and Kazakhstan all acting improperly? Are they all destabilizing themselves? The evidence says otherwise. They are doing precisely what responsible nations do, refining their systems to meet the needs of their people. We must also be clear about our motive. Those who oppose constitutional amendments are often those who benefit from the flaws in the existing system. Inefficiency saves them. Conflict saves them. A system that produces disputes rather than delivery, that is where they thrive. Our core message, what this bill brings. This bill brings you faster justice. This bill brings you stronger rights protection. This bill brings you completed projects you can actually use. This bill brings you fairer elections you can trust. This bill brings you smarter laws that work in practice. This bill brings you a voice for your community. This bill brings you less waste, more results. This bill brings you stability that creates jobs. Many people, when they hear about the bill, they focus on advancing their hatred to the president, who happens to be an individual. But this bill does not focus mainly on president. In fact, it does not focus on President E.D. Mnangagwa, but on advancing our systems. The first clause that this bill seeks to amend is the Gender Commission integration. The problem is, currently, rights complaints are handled by separate commissions, which can create delays, duplication, and inefficient use of resources. Treating gender separately from human rights reduces focus and slows resolution, particularly for women and vulnerable groups. What does the bill seek to do? Clause 18 and 19 merge the Human Rights Commission and the Gender Commission into a single unified institution. Why do we need that? Harmonizing the two commissions strengthens governance. Resources and expertise are combined. Cases are handled efficiently, and gender issues are addressed centrally as part of human rights protection. What does this mean to you? One institution, one process, faster resolution. Gender and human rights are treated together, ensuring complaints are handled effectively and justice is delivered promptly. So women are in total support of this. You know, the Office for the Human Rights is down there. The Office for Gender Commission is up there, up here. You want to make a report, there are two separate issues. You go to human rights, they tell you, okay, we're interested in this part, but this other part, go to Gender Commission. You go to Gender Commission, they say, yes, we are taking this part, but this part you must go back there with this letter. Tell them they must deal with this. So this is some kind of creating a one-stop shop. The other clause is on the Attorney General, the qualifications of the Attorney General. The problem that we have is that the Constitution currently requires the Attorney General to have the qualifications of a High Court judge. This is below the level needed for the complexity and importance of the office. The Attorney General advises on major legislation, treaties, and governance decisions, matters that demand the highest legal expertise. The Attorney General sits in the cabinet. So clause 7 raises the qualification threshold, requiring the Attorney General to meet the standard for appointment as a Supreme Court judge. Why do we need this? Deputy Attorney Generals are already equivalent to High Court judges. Aligning the Attorney General's qualifications with the Supreme Court ensures institutional coherence and that the principal legal advisor holds the seniority and expertise appropriate to the office. We cannot have the substantive having the same qualifications with the deputies. What it means for you, legal advice guiding government decisions comes from someone qualified at the highest level. This strengthens governance, improves decision making on constitutional and national matters, and raises the bar for legal oversight. There is also dissolution of the National Peace and Reconciliation Commission. The problem that we have is that the commission completed its mandate to secure peace and unity, but it remains operational, consuming taxpayers' funds. Continuing to fund an institution beyond its purpose divert resources from schools, clinics, and other essential services. The bill seeks to dissolve the NPRC and transfer any remaining necessary functions to other appropriate institutions. Why do we need this? Streamlining government reduces duplication, eliminates unnecessary administration, and ensures that public funds are used efficiently. What it means for you, more taxpayer money goes to services that matter. Bureaucracy is reduced, programs are more focused, and public resources deliver tangible results. The next clause is on the traditional leaders and politics. The current problem is that traditional leaders, chiefs, headmen, village heads know their communities intimately, yet they've been barred from participating in national political debates. This limits the flow of local knowledge to policy making and prevents communities from having a fully representative voice. The bill seeks to restore the political rights of traditional leaders, allowing them to engage in national discussions and the democratic processes like any other citizens. In the past, I've seen especially members of the opposition party alleging that traditional leaders align with the ruling party, Zanu and not with them. So to the members of the opposition, this is the time to celebrate. Traditional leaders are now aligned to align with political parties of their choices, including your political parties that do not win elections or that win elections, I don't know. Why do we need this? Enabling traditional leaders to participate ensures that governance is informed by local realities. Policies and debates reflect the needs of rural communities, and the voice of those closest to local challenges is no longer excluded. What does that mean to you? Rural communities gain stronger representation. Traditional leaders can advocate for local needs, ensuring that issues like water, schools, and infrastructure reach national attention. Your community's voice is heard where it matters most. The next clause is on voter registration. The problem that we have is that thousands of Zimbabweans are at times turned away on election day because their names don't match the voters' roll, even though they have national IDs. After voter registration, there's a process called voter verification. Majority of our people are not quite aware of that process, where you go to the polling station just to check if the name on the national ID is the same as the name on the voter reg. For example, my brother who introduced me here called me Kandishaya, and you had to correct him that it's Kandishaya. So if I am Kandishaya and my name appears on the voters roll as Kandishaya, the day of elections, I won't be able to vote. So what does this mean to us? In 2018, over 300,000 people were affected. In the last election of 2023, more than 5,000 faced delays. Young first-time voters, women who changed names, and citizens replacing lost documents are hit hardest. The problem isn't a fraud, it's disconnected government systems. The bill seeks to merge voter registration with the national ID system under the Registrar General. All our details are with the Registrar General. So there won't be any mistake. This solves the problem. This way, your ID and voter registration become one. No more mismatches. No more being turned away. After elections, the losing parties or losing candidates usually takes the blame at the government. You hear somebody saying, of the 300,000 who were turned away, 290,000 were mine. If they had voted, we could have won. What it means, they start now to allege issues of rigging and election fraud. But this is the part of the electoral reforms that matter most in aligning our democracy and in improving it. This means to you, your ID automatically registers you to vote. On election day, your name is there. Your constitutional right to vote is finally guaranteed. There is also a clause on election of president by parliament. You can see that this is part of the amendments. It is not the main. The problem that we have is that since year 2000, every presidential election has faced disputes. 2002, disputed. 2008, disputed, which ended up with us having unity government. 2013, court challenges. 2018, Motlande Commission alleged that there were soldiers on the streets. 2023, opposition rejects results, wrote a letter to SADC, promised its members to keep their national identity cards safe because SADC was coming for a rerun. Direct winner takes all elections, leave losing parties with nothing. This fuels disputes, delays progress, and creates tension. The bill seeks to align it in this way. It allows Parliament, the board you elect, to choose the president. And we have seen this in developing countries, where we have our people going to South Africa because they are looking for greener pastures. And this amendment seeks to create a South Africa in Zimbabwe. So we'll see them also coming back for greener pastures here, because it all starts with how people assume political offices. So we are copying exactly how it solves the problem. After elections, your MPs from an electoral college, they debate, negotiate, and vote. Majority wins. Simple, democratic, transparent. If you go to the United States of America, Fungidzot is the mother of democracy. It's not the popular vote that counts. They are electoral colleges. The other election, someone had popular vote, the other one had the electoral colleges. The one with electoral colleges became the president. The one with the popular vote lost elections. So in as much as we praise the democracy of America, I think this parliament, I think the system, the present day system, deserves an applaud for copying exactly what you dream for. All parties with the seats participate. Losing parties are no longer silenced. For example, Botswana in 2024, South Africa 2024, opposition parties were part of the leadership selection. dispute-free elections. Countries with this system, Botswana, South Africa, Germany, Mauritius, have no post-election disputes. Zimbabwe, every election since 2000 has been contested. And for those who are alleged rigging of elections, here's an opportunity. If you failed to prove rigging, where maybe more than 4 million people voted, here's an opportunity. Less than 400 people, I think, in the parliament will be voting. If Mabalot had 401, one direct evidence could correct one rapako. So for those by chairman rigging, you must celebrate this. So it means there won't be, months of post-election disputes. Every vote still counts through your MP. You have seen it that in certain areas, people may choose an MP from Zanu PF, but when it comes to president, they put their votes on the opposition. In certain areas, people vote for the president of Zanu PF, and when it comes to member of parliament, they put someone from the opposition. It goes down even to the councils. So Zimbabwe joins stable democracies, ensuring leadership selection is peaceful and inclusive. The clause on more senators, including experts. The problem that we have is too often laws fail because parliament debates complex issues without enough expertise. Policies on health, agriculture, education, and mining sometimes yet instead of help. Citizens feel the impact when laws don't work in practice. The bill seeks to allow up to 10 additional senators with proven expertise in fields like economics, health, agriculture, engineering, and law. It solves the problem. Experts help craft practical laws. Doctors improve health policies. Farmers guide agriculture rules. Economists oversee budgets. Countries like Canada and the UK use this model to strengthen parliament. What it means for you, better expertise leads to better laws, and better laws lead to better lives. There's this culture where people believe that the Senate is an elders' council, more of an old people's home, where at times no meaningful debate is witnessed. But in this case, those 10 appointed will bring life to the Senate. And there will be also a chance for the president to appoint ministers from the Senate. And by the way, for one to qualify to be a senator, you must be 40 years of age. We also have a clause on delimitation commission. The problem that we have is that constituency delimitation is a complex technical process. ZEC manages many responsibilities, and handling boundaries alongside elections can stretch resources. Ensuring boundaries accurately reflect population and geography requires specialized focus. The bill seeks to establish a dedicated delimitation commission to focus solely on defining constituency boundaries, supporting ZEC's broader electoral mandate. Why do we need this? A specialized commission brings expertise and capacity, helping ensure boundaries are designed effectively and professionally. Similar approaches are used successfully in India, Botswana, and South Africa. What does that mean to you? Boundaries are professionally designed. Every vote carries equal weight, and the elections are well organized. Also have a clause on constitutional court powers. The problem is access to the constitutional court is currently limited. The process can be costly and complex, making it difficult for ordinary citizens and community groups to have their cases heard. The bill allows the Constitutional Court to hear any matter that raises an arguable point of law of general public importance, even when brought by individuals or civil society. How it solves the problems? By expanding access, the highest court can consider issues that affect many people, not just those with resources similar to systems in countries like Germany. What it means for you, if your rights or your community's interests are affected, you now have access to the highest level of justice. Your rights are protected and enforceable. The other clause seeks to extend the term of office from 5 to 7 years. The problem that we have now is that 5-year terms often interrupt long-term projects. By year 3, planning shifts to the next election. By year 5, the country is in full campaign mode. Roads, hospitals, schools, and dams are left incomplete. Short cycles prevent continuity and slow national development. You all agree with us that a year before elections, money stops circulating because people are not sure of the election results. A year after election, also there is no circulation because there are disputes and people are not so sure. It means that the current term of office in practice is 3 years. So the bill seeks to extend the presidential term from 5 to 7 years, with the parliament following the same cycle. The term of office for the president is defined by the term of parliament. So it is the tenure of parliament that then determines the term of office for the president. And unfortunately, in the streets, I'm yet to see anyone who is opposing extension of parliament tenure. They are all focusing on the president. And I'm sure, including the members of parliament from both ruling and opposition, they are celebrating about it. But because of misinformation and individuals with an agenda to cause, disharmony among citizens, they ignore everything that I've stated and focus on who their enemy is. This allows uninterrupted implementation of long-term national projects. Term limits remain unchanged. No office holder receives extra terms. Why it strengthens the system? Longer terms create stability, reduce election-related disruptions, and allow policies and infrastructure projects to be completed. International examples show that 7-year terms are common in mature democracies and support effective governance, for example, in Ireland. What it means for you, projects are completed on time, roads are finished, hospitals open, schools completed. The nation focuses on development rather than constant election cycles. The bill does not seek to establish a Dubai in Zimbabwe, where each one of you vasati vaenda vanosvira kuva kuenda kuDubai kustorina ma-elections. But the bill seeks to align and to upgrade our democracy. To this end, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to thank you for covering this presser, and I open the floor for questions. If you have questions. Yes, my brother, Guamun.
Yeah, thank you very much. Among my panelists, my prominent statements, the right to bishop, paneko vakambenge vari vaine maitiro avaita nhasi vauyawo nhasi pacitizen forum, this press conference, and also we have been also joined nevari kubva kubandiko rezveumambo ndokunga tikambonzwa mairi matatu kubva kwavari in line with this press conference, especially Bishop.
Okay, Bishop, I will allow you to say 1 or 2 words, but what I want to remind you is that this is a citizens' movement. You'll be surprised one day to see members from the opposition joining us, because the Constitution does not belong to a political party, but to the citizens of Zimbabwe. Bishop.
Thank you so much. Actually, Andina Mashobo Hebutau, like what Honorable Kandishaya is just saying, I think a lot of things has been covered by Honorable Kandishaya. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, my brother.
Thank you so much. My name is Owen. Pamanga mishtaura neyakupisa kugender commission. Mataura neyadzimadzose. Madzose zinopaine kwafana kuti. Panochidzika, masojustify kucreatwa delimitation commission. Saisina here kuti mukubvisa keto inolika, kuisa poto inolika. Machinja zvinhu but still zvichikulika panyaya yemaresources. Then munotaura zvenyaya yematerms. Kumashure uko takambenge tine a 6-year presidential term. Yakazoonekwa kuti
ngatireduce kuitira kuti zvibatane neparliament. Panguva iyoyo vaifamba vachiti ngatireduce, the same people vakutaura zvekuti ngatirebese. Saka takuda mubvunzo wangu uri panyaya yekuti pabhill renyu handisi kuona consistency pane zvakutaurwa pamaclauses nemajustifications. Mungandibondijekeserawo ipapo ndione kujekesera.
Maita zvakanaka. Chinangwa chekuamenda bumbiro remutemo kuedza nepanogonekwa napo kuti upenyu hwevanhu hureruke. Panyaya yatataura yegender commission nenyaya yezeki, dambudziko ratinaro kuzeki nderekuti pasarudzo dzega dzega vezvematongerwo enyika vanokomplena in a number of issues. One, vanokomplena kuti hatisi kuona mazita edu. Chichemo chine vanhu ichocho chekuti hatisi kuona mazita edu on a critical moment, vanhu vachi-exercise their constitutional right. Munhu ototadza ku-exercise constitutional right because pazita rake paiswa V instead of W. It's something chinodeserve kuisira ma-resources kuti zvi-align because tiri kuadresa ma-issues, vari kuadresa ma-issues ema-constitutional rights. What it means is, number two, the problem number two, is that issues of delimitation, like the last time, you would see kwedu kuna naipwetu, imba iyi neiyi, munhu achitokuudza kuti apa nemugano avanovhoterawo kwanovhoterawo. Munhu oendawo kuonodzoswa obvanza aiwa imi imba yenyu yakatarisa kupi yakatarisa kunorth, aiwa yenyu ndeye uko. The reason being, the same ZEC iri kuita voter reg, is the same ZEC iri kupinda ballot paper, is the same ZEC iri kuita delimitation. Is ZEC yese hiyo. So how do we address this? At times you go to ZEC with a complaint about delimitation. They are in the meeting of printing the ballot paper. You go there, ne issue with the Sarango and this corner, very busy near delimitation. So creating, what it means is, kuzeki kuchato zigira staff, because those that were responsible for the issues of delimitation, havacharambe vachishanda kuzeki, because basarawa hakusisina. So when we talk of addressing fundamental rights, hakuna mari inoenderana kana kuti mari iri worth more than the fundamental rights provided by the Constitution. We go to issue of gender commission. The same Human Rights Commission is about upholding the rights of human. Human haina gender, mukadzi kana murume. But we have a scenario where uri kufila kuti ma rights ako semunhukadzi haasi kuupholdwa. Commission inodhila nenyaya dzema rights iZimbabwe Human Rights Commission. But waharaswa pabasa uri kunzi enda kugender commission. But harassment is also a infringing of human rights. So you have one complaint, it is split into two, where you must report the same case at the Human Rights Commission. My resources are going to gender commission. They seek to do that which human rights is already doing. My resources are going to human rights. Akashota kuti vaite a complete, supervision of people's rights, because part of the resources are going to gender commission. Then why can't we have an office that deals with that at the Human Rights Commission? So we have two issues here, my brother. We have an issue where tine poto iri kulika. Tobva tati ngatibvise poto iri kulika toiisa paside. Handiti? Tobva taita isusu a system where hapatorina moto wacho. Hapatorina poto yacho. To the extent that people may end up suggesting that but asizvazviri nani inolika haisina nani pane kutoshaya. So when we talk of ZEC, hapatorina because there are complaints. If you check why people were going to the courts, it's these same issues. Ndakashaya zita rangu, vanhu vakatenwa out, polling station yakurumidza kuvharwa, ndakaafekwa nedelimitation, vanhu vangu 1000 havana kuvhota. So there's nothing happening there. What do we need to do to establish institutions? And as democracy mature, vanhu vaibvisa 6 years, as we have said, are not specifically the same people. Because, democracy matures. And what ukada kuti wewe road yandaimbofamba nayo yanzi one way, what inini because pandakabva muno mari ndaifamba nayo unosungwa. The same road. So democracy matures and we match international standards. Zvazvisiri applicable muna 2000, zvava applicable now. Growing up, pakatanga kuuya mafoni, wanga usingaoni mwana mudiki aine phone, zvairambidza. But now kwane e-learning. So if you remain stuck kuti semubereki aikurambidza kuti usabate phone, akakuigira akati phone woti but maimbondirambidza. It doesn't work like that. Democracy matures and the world is not static. It's dynamic. We keep moving. Thank you. Okay.
Okay. I just want to add for the reason of the term extension from 5 years to 7 years. As a student, we totally concur with the amendment, the bill number 3. Why? Because the education system as a whole is taking another trajectory. We used to use the education 3.0, but as the apex of education 3.0, we are now having education 5.0. There have been two aspects that have been added on. That is innovation and industrialization. Meaning to say, gone are the days where students were used to being bookish rather than being industrialized. Now we no longer want job seekers. We now want employment creators. Those individuals that may come out of institution and command and be in a position to be competitive in the external world. So, amendment bill number 3, NDS 2 education 5.0, they intertwine. That is the reason why we students were in support of that, because there are a lot of innovations that needs to be done. So let's not only focus on elections, but let us focus on improvements, and let us focus on those strategies rather than election only. So that is my take on that.
Thank you so much, Comrade President. He's, I think, responding to adding to what he said, that there was education 3.0. It took us where we are, but now we have education 5.0. Any questions? Oh, okay. What do you want him to say? Or not? Or despite him being here, they want a yes or a no. Okay. And Mungotaura something to will and I want that is.
Yeah, I think on my side, ndakamira matradition leaders. Bill yakatibhinika kuti madzimambo maedwin nemasabhuku takaiswa kunze kwezvematongerero nyika. Whereas when it comes to election, tinopuwa mandate yekumobilize vanhu. Endai kunovhota, endai munonyosa kunovhota, but when it comes to munyaya yekupinda munyaya dzekuti uvhote uri kuda bato ripi, taibva tanzi mutemo unotirambira. Saka bhiu ranga rakatotinonokera. Extension of president isi yatotinakira izvo, nekuti madevelopment aida imira nyaya dzezvematongerero nyika. Saka zvayatoenda mberi zvakutipa mukana kudevelopa macommunities. Saka bhiu ratotinonokera kuti ripasisa.
And the other thing, the extension of the term, people make mistake of thinking that it's extension of President E.D. Mnangagwa's term. There is nowhere in the Constitution of Zimbabwe where it's retained President E.D. Mnangagwa. In the Constitution, it speaks about the president. So whoever becomes the president, and let me tell you this, rest assured, hakuna munhu anoda kuita president muZimbabwe anorambirana nenyaya yekubva pa 5 years kusvika 7. Wese achada, nyange mukasangana naye achita kunge asingadi, hakuna munhu asiri kuda kuzotongawo for 7 years kana apinda. Hakuna MP anorambirana nenyaya yekuti term ibviswe pa 5 kusvika pa 7 years. Hakuna. So wese wamuri kuziya roita president kana achazoda ari kutsigira bhiu. Kunyange pakamera akati haasi kurida, asi mumwoyo make akamuka apo nhasi anosvitsa pa 8, umwe pa 9, umwe pa 10. Vamwe vatinoziva isu vanogona kutozobvisa term limit yacho. Vamwe vatinotoziva isusu vakatomborana mapata asina makonstitution vanogona kutozoti hakusina chinonzi constitution, kwane martial law. 2013 takaita referendum, you all know, takanovhota. Maparties ese agreeing kuti constitution yakanaka. Only one individual was saying no. He maintained the stance. Tikavhota, referendum ikapasa, Kusvika after referendum, he continued saying no. The same person now, the same person who was saying no to the 2013 constitution because I is right, still continues to say no. You all know our dear brother, Professor Love Momandu. It's his right.
Yeah.
But what I advise you members of the 40th state, it's very dangerous, I said it, to take a legal opinion from Mr. Maduka. The last time he gave a legal opinion, he was against a reappointment of Justice Malala. 3 days later, he was in the courts advocating for the same. It's constitutional to extend the term. People asked him, but 3 days ago he was saying it's not. He said, no, this is the opinion of my client. That was my personal opinion. This is the opinion of the client. So whenever he speaks, he gives a personal opinion and a legal opinion. So you need to check with him, Professor. Is it personal or legal? You know, is what you are saying, is it professional or it's driven by some interest? It's just a piece of advice. You'll be ashamed if you take Maduku, if you write an opinion of Maduku, the next morning you wake up and say the opposite, and you need to correct the newspaper. Right. Having said this, I think you are all satisfied. Thank you so much for attending. Yes, you can.